Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right, all right. Oh my goodness, it is so good to be here. I love it, I love it. I've seen your city and we're about to rock and roll. I needed to see you guys from the back, okay? Thank you kindly for all the wonderful things you have said about us. And this is the favorite part of what I do when I sit in a room with women and we talk about work-life balance. But before we do that, there's some ground rules that we need to adhere to. 1, turn off all your phones. 2, please be present. I know some of you, perhaps you're getting CEUs or CLEs. Some of you are getting CEUs and CLEs and all of that for being here. And I know you have these cards that we have to mark on. Put it away. Because there is something special about being here in a group. There's a lot of energy and there's a lot of power. And women, this is your day. So it doesn't matter what is happening at the office, doesn't matter what's at your home. This is one time to get away from your husband, get away from the boss. If you're the boss, get away from the employees, because we're going to rock and roll today. Okay? And so if you feel like, I'm not going to preach, but if something hits you and you feel like jumping and screaming, that's good too, okay? Because at the end, there she goes, okay? At the end of the day, you need to leave knowing that you've captured the essence of what is work-life balance. And you have to get it right. Let me just tell you a little bit about me, and thank you for that wonderful introduction. Grew up in Jamaica. When I was 12 years old, I said to my mother, I wanted to be a lawyer, and she said lawyers did not go to heaven. The jury is still out on that, I tell you, okay? So I became what I was 100% sure would happen, that I could go to heaven, because since I'm Baptist, we believe there's a place called heaven, or they believe there's a place called heaven. And I understand it had something to do with food, milk and honey. I'm a foodie, so I wanted to go that place. So I became a registered nurse, okay? And I became a midwife, and then when I came to America, I went to law school. Opened my own law practice after 3 years with Janet Reno, and did amazingly well. Was like the rock star of it all. Lost my balance. And that is why it is, we might joke about it, but I'm so serious about it that if I have to tie you up and make you get it, you will. Because one day I could not get out of bed. And I speak from my truth, and maybe some of you can identify with this. One day I couldn't get out of bed, so I thought I had mononucleosis. Well, I didn't. I didn't understand that I was burnt out. And the end of stress is when you're totally exhausted. Thank goodness I didn't get a heart attack or anything like that, or a stroke, because I was there. The weekend when I was able to shower at my office, I was at this amazing complex, 5-star complex. I had my own shower in my own office. I thought, good little girl from Jamaica doing well. I mean, I can even shower in my office. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. Because I lost my balance. I lost my way. And some of you, when Monday morning comes, it's not a good day. Because some of us, somehow, we lost our way. I was talking to Karen, and I said, you know, I do a piece called The Miseducation of the Professional Woman. They told us this is the way we have to show up in the workplace, and it's not true. Because like, unfortunately, heart attack, for us, it's different. The suits and the black suits and the navy blue suits, it's different for us. So we now, this generation, we have to find our way. And so I went to Jamaica, and it's my father's funeral, and they were saying all these amazing things about my daddy. And I said, they're never going to say that about me in a million years. It was all he had done for others. And when my life flashed before me, I saw that it was all about me. Nurse, lawyer, degree in international relations, and all like that. And that day, I decided to change. What I didn't know was it was going to take me from the heights of the heights and the depths of the depths. Because I quit my law practice. And the Miami Herald wrote a huge article about me. Rock star, she quit. And I was like, yes, I quit. And I opened a record label. And after 1.5 million, I lost it all. And I had to sell my sports Jag. And those of you who have a sports car, that's not a good thing, okay? Because I was saying, you know, God, I thought you said I was to do all this thing for women and to talk to women. How comes I am so broke? And I said, show me a sign. Don't do that either. I have so many things to tell you not to do. Don't do that. I said, show me a sign. The light shone on my sports Jag. I'm like, no. I sold it. The next day, I sold it, $15,000, paid all my bills. Now I don't have any money. I took the bus for 6 months. But here's the deal. There's a funny thing. Even though I was taking the bus, one time I took the bus and I was writing something. And if you've never taken the bus, try it. The zone of privacy does not exist. So this guy is reading my laptop and he said, Miss, you spelled it wrong. And I said, no, baby, the computer will correct it, right? And we're talking and I said, oh, I'm a lawyer. And he looked at me like, let me go away from you. You're a lawyer and you're taking the bus? But I knew there was a greater purpose. I couldn't explain it. Even as broke as I was 10, 12 years ago, I had a knowing that everything was going to be all right. And for me, that dramatic shift was what I needed to propel me into the kind of work that I did. And I got my balance back. Because what I now do, I am giddy about it. So the first thing you need to do, we're talking about work, a place called work, a kinder, gentler workplace. And here's the deal. I don't know you. And I'm not going to walk around and ask you to tell the truth. But, you know, we're girlfriends together. I declare this a safe space. So for what I'm going to say, because if you're the one that's driving other people at work crazy, stop it. Stop it, right? Because the workplace has become so combative. Because the economy is so bad. People are like falling out, like they're in the spirit, the people in Baptist church will understand that reference. Like they're in church because everybody has to produce more with less. It is what it is. I can't buy your business. I wish I could. And then you could only do 4 days a week, 10 to 2. All right, we're working on that. Okay? So here, you're going to have to learn. First, know what you want to do. Let me tell you, if you're in a position that you don't like, figure a way to be transitioned. It doesn't mean that you have to be ashamed stepping down as the nurse manager of the ICU unit. You're doing it for your health. You're doing it for your emotion. You're doing it for your family. You're doing it for you. Because some of us, when we got there, whatever there was, it's not the way they told us. We never thought that when we became the CEO of the company, we'd be up in the bathroom throwing up because we are so nervous. You ever get so nervous it's in your belly? It's in your gut? Like you talk about butterflies? Yeah. So know where you want. Know where you're going to go in your life. And if you're in a track where it's not going to take you to where you want to go, we got to do something about it. That's the first thing. I knew that I was coming to Panama City Beach. I'd never been here before. First of all, let me just take a second. How the heck you guys are on Central Time? You don't think that doesn't sound... you all don't care. You all don't care? Don't get me started about this, okay? So I knew when I got on the plane, I said to the guy, because I'm always in a hurry going nowhere, right? The thing is today, but I'm like, how soon are we going to get there? And he says, you have to stop in Orlando. I'm like, Orlando? Yeah, you know, we have to stop. And I said, oh, that's why I leave my house at 6:40 something and get here at 8:30. Oh, I'm going to stop in Orlando. But if when I got to Orlando, they said, everybody get off the plane, I'd be like, pilot, this is not my city. Because I knew where I was going. I knew that it had to say Panama City Beach. I knew that. So you have to be clear in your mind. If I wake you up out of a deep sleep and I said, what do you want it to be? You have to know. Because as a life coach, people come to me and I ask them what they want it to be, and it's like anything. I'm not that good. I'm not that good. If you come to me and you say anything and I give you a name, look, and if you don't see a psychiatrist beside that name, because I can't make you be anything. So know what it is you want to be. The next thing you need to do, you know, a lot of you all are doing all these positive things because of Mama Oprah says you're supposed to do it, and you're meditating, you know, because Wayne Dyer says. You forget something. You have to move. Thoughts held in mind reproduce after their own kind. Whatever the mind can conceive, oh yeah, but you gotta move. You got to move. You got to get that Jamaica swagger in you. You got to get that reggae music in your, and you got to move. You have to move. Even if you take baby steps, I assure you, you will get there. The next things you have to be is flexible. Because I will tell you, and any business person here will tell you, it ain't going to work the way you think it is supposed to be. You have the perfect ice cream shop, Karen, and there's a recession. You have the perfect ice cream shop, and Oprah says, we have found that the bacteria they use to make ice cream will kill you. And all of a sudden, that is the day of your grand opening when Oprah made that proclamation. And nobody comes. And you have 13 flavors of ice creams, flavor that people have never ever heard of in their life. And you have that, and nobody comes. How does that work for you? The best laid plans. But you gotta move. You gotta call Oprah and say, Oprah, you're killing me. You got to call Oprah. You said, listen, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. You need to go back on air and say, it's not my ice cream. It's every ice cream except my ice cream, right? Because things can happen, but you don't curl up and die. Flexibility does not mean abandonment, okay? So those are the 3 steps. You need to know what you want. You need to take massive action. And you need to reevaluate. You need to be flexible. When I started speaking first, I had a contract from Deepak Chopra. He wasn't hiring me. What I mean, let me be clear. I was negotiating it for a client, I don't know, 15 years ago, and it said $20,000 for 1 hour. So I'm cheap. It said $20,000. And I understood that I was not Deepak Chopra, okay? So I decided, well, they could pay me $5,000. I mean, I have credentials. I mean, I'm not Deepak, but I have credentials. I sent out 100 and not one person said yes. I'm like, okay. I can just imagine, now I know better, now you know better, you do better. I can just imagine the person who got it and said, who is this crazy person called Lorna Owens want us to pay $5? She's never been on Oprah. She's not been on CNN. We don't know her. She didn't kill anybody. I mean, what is this about, right? So I started saying, and I will speak for free. Free is good. Free is good. So I was all over the country. The point of the matter is you've got to reevaluate. I never quit. But I reevaluated. And now I've been to, I don't know, 14 countries. And the first time somebody gave me, it was $7,500. I said, it can't be. I said to Veronica, take this check to the bank. Tell Juliet to call the bank that this is issued on, and please ask them if this is for real. It's not a joke, right? That sort of thing. So it was for me to go to Singapore. When I got there, and they put me in my room, it's at the Shangri-La Hotel We got to go there. I can't tell you, you just got to go there. All I know, I lost it. And I was on the bed, and I called America, and I was, and they're like, who is this? It's me, Lord. What? Why are you acting like that? You should see my hotel room. I mean, you know, eventually, if you are faithful in what you're doing, but you can't get there if you're stressed out, if you're crazy, if you have butterflies in your stomach. And I am going to now talk about the workplace to help you navigate this crazy thing called workplace. But understand this, another rule, expect to win. And that's the title of a book as well, Expect to Win. And it is a story of this woman who is a vice president at Smith Barney, top person. And she said she wanted to move to the next level. And she was saying to her sponsor, you know, the sponsor is not your mentor. Your sponsor, get a sponsor. Your sponsor is a person who will go in the room for you and talk on your behalf. Your mentor is the one who knows everything about you and say, yes, you can do it. That's not the person you want to send in the room. You want to send your sponsor. So she was talking to her sponsor at Smith Barney, and she says, you know, I want to be VP or whatever. And he says, you can do it, but I don't know. People don't think you're tough enough. And that shocked her. So she went home. I'm tough enough. She comes next morning or 2 days later. Somebody says to her, Carla, we'd love to have you. So-and-so wants you to review something for them. And she said, yeah, I can do it. But you better tell him I'm tough. She said, without changing anything, within a month, people were saying, Carla can do it, but you know, she's tough. You need to write your own story. You need to show up how you have to language it. You have to tell people how you want to show up. Because as women, they will make you do everything. But the thing that's going to give you the big recognition and the stuff or the presenting in the room is not going to be you. Because you've never done this before. You've never flown to Japan. You've never. No. I am tough enough. That's what you want to say to yourself. It doesn't mean that you're going to go around and kill everybody like the men do in the workplace. Huh? One guy. Okay? You're not going to do that. But you need to language it because nothing changed with that woman except she started telling people that she was tough enough. And people start saying, oh yeah, she can do it, but she is tough enough. Okay. Now, remember that there will be conflict. Oh, too fast. Okay. Remember that in the workplace, there's always going to be conflict. I am challenging you. Please don't let it be you. Because as you can see, this is a fight about to happen. It looks like the confident one, but he's ready to fight. You know, this guy's shaking his hand, he's bowing, he's ready to fight. What is a conflict? A conflict is a struggle or disagreement. And it could be we have conflicts within ourselves all the time. And to me, that's one of the hardest conflicts because you're mismatched. Your skills, you're in the wrong body. You're doing this, you don't love it, but you're still doing it. So that is, what is important is the way we learn to handle conflict. And those lollipops are there not because they're sweet, and they're sweet too, but because of diversity. This is what our workplace looks like. It's not your grandmother's workplace anymore. It's not going to be all black people, not going to be all white people, it's going to be all people that you don't even know. You're like, is that a country you've come from? And we have to learn to accommodate everybody in the workplace. And you're like, oh my God. No. A more diverse workplace is a more robust workplace. It's a gift when you have somebody speak a language that you don't know what it is. It is your opportunity to take them to lunch and say, what do they do in your country? Okay? It is a more diverse workplace. More women are in the workplace. More women are going to graduate school, 52%. They are not all going to be working in home. They are going to be in the workplace. And we have to fix our workplace because that is the way it looks right now. Now, the reason for conflict, lack of skills. You know, we promote people and we don't give them the skills. It is good. You promote a person to be manager. You didn't put them through any management training, and you expect them not to cuss you out when you call them about a problem. A lot of times when people put up a fight, it's because they feel insecure. They don't want you to know that they can't do it. I can use the experience as a nurse. They're the best clinician, but they can't manage anybody. They can't even manage themselves. I mean, it's crazy. I have a girlfriend, Sonia. I don't think Sonia will ever come here because she don't like to fly. Sonia, I swear Sonia would get lost in her own house. Sonia comes to my house when I used to live in the burbs. I don't do that anymore. No wonder she got lost. And she's in my complex, and she's come 10 times. She comes, she's supposed to come through the gate, turn left, and the first house on the right. An hour later, she passed the gate. Miss Owens, there's somebody here from you. I can't find Sonia. And I think those are kind of more the days before everybody has a cell phone. She is lost. You know, she had said, because she called me, come and get me. I'm like, how can you be lost in my complex when all you have to do is turn left and I'm on the right? Left and I'm on the right, and you've come here 10 times. I don't think I would make Sonia be no manager, because I don't think she could navigate the complexities of leadership. I make a judgment because she cannot find her way around. So the whole she'd be overwhelmed. And I tell you, by the time she gets there, she's sweating and ready to fight me, as if I'm supposed to move my house to outside the guard gate, you know? So I'm like, I will never recommend you for manager, because you're going to beat your people, right? That sort of thing. Loneliness, intoleration, lack of trust. You know that in today's work environment, nobody trusts anyone, because you can be laid off tomorrow. You can decide you're going to, housing price is cheap now, you have good credit, good for you, that's not me, and you are now going to buy a new house, and you're the big manager, and you go tomorrow and they're like, we'll lay you off. Actually, the guard meets you with your little trinkets in a box, and they ask you to give your ID up, and and you try to get in your computer. You try to get in from work like you used to, and you think the network is down when in fact they fired you. You know, that sort of thing. So a lot of things do happen in the workplace. But another reasons, overload, kinder, gentler workplace. Stop sending all those crazy emails to people over and over and over again. They're next door to you. They're not understanding what you're saying. Why you don't just walk over and tell me what you're talking about? Have you ever seen people send 20 emails and they're all talking about the same thing but saying different things, and nobody gets it? And that's half an hour or an hour that they've spent, 2 days of productivity done. Go talk to somebody. Look somebody in the way. If you feel that your career is blocked, you will be conflict in the workplace, because you're going to be cussing everybody out. And it's never personal. It's just intolerance, okay? So those are some of the reasons. Fatigue, little work satisfaction. Sometimes people are in the job and you need to shake it up a little bit more to make it more interesting, to make it more appealing, so that the workplace can be less. Some people, that's how they grew up. I have a friend, my wonderful friend, Maria. And I'm from Jamaica, so I thought that she's from Cuba, so I figured, I mean, apart from in America where everybody hates Castro, you know, in Jamaica, the truth is, you know, we don't hate Castro. We can just swim, go have tea, have a cigar with Castro, right? So anywho, well, the Jamaican government, not me. This is being recorded. I hate Castro. I do. Okay. All right. So anyhow, so Maria invites me to her house, and I am chatty. I could not get a word in. Thank goodness she realized that her chatty friend was having a problem in her family, and she says, Lorna, you need to jump in. I said, I can't jump in. Aren't you going to stop talking so I can talk? She said, no, honey, in our family, and I noticed that 6 persons were speaking at once, and they all heard each other and responded well. I'm like, that is skills I don't have, right? So basically, you know, some families, the way they settle differences, it's just like that. Come get, we can, you know. I had some clients one time in court, girl on probation, and who's timing me? Does anybody care? Okay, he'll give me the sign. Okay, girl on probation. I'm waiting, because I don't go to court that much anymore, so when I go after, I'm friendly after, how you doing, judge? everything good, Judge? You know, because I want, how you doing, prosecutor? You know, and Judge, I'm talking to the bailiff. How your kids? They good? I have to do all of that before I can say, Your Honor, Lorna Owens. And they give me a moment, Judge, to greet everybody correctly in court. So the judge is off the bench, and they said, Miss Owens, look at your family. They're about to fight. Now here, I got a lesson in how, and I can fight now, because I saw what my family, they were doing. My client, she's on probation, she's in court, and she's going to fight the boyfriend who is in jail, the mother of his child. But what I noticed, she started taking off her earrings. And I think she was going to take off her hair too, because she's about to fight, right? And I'm like, I forget about the fight. I'm like, oh, that's how you fight. You have to take off your earrings so somebody can pull your ear. And I mean, I watch, she's taking off, and I'm like, so I said, oh, let them fight. Because if she doesn't know that she can't, she's on probation, she can't fight in court. I mean, what can I do? Go fight. Go fight, girl. I'll just get you out of jail. I could hear, cha-ching, one more charge, cha-ching, go fight, okay? So we might be that person. Okay. That's how you deal with conflict. Call the woman, okay? So here's how you can deal with conflict. You can avoid them, you can't avoid them. Because some of you, that's all you do, you avoid it, and people realize that you're not authentic. Because I have a problem, you avoid it, you go over here. That's not dealing with a problem. That's being untruthful. That's not being authentic, okay? So, well, talk about the problem. Make sure you're listening to both sides. So one compromise could be my way this time, your way next time. If you are the manager and you're handling the conflict, and let me use hospital because it's one of my favorite places, being a nurse, always a nurse, and the nurse works the night shift and the person is coming on at 7 o'clock. Do not set the meeting for 8 o'clock. Why? Because the night shift nurse has to wait another half an hour. She gives her report and she has to sit around, her kids to go to school or she's tired and she has to sit around for another half an hour. Guess what she comes up with? Guess how he or she processes it? You prefer the person coming in. I know it was Sonia. Why the hell you didn't tell her to come in early? You didn't see her? I have to, you know, every day. Don't. So have the morning person come in 6:45. So she gives a little extra 15 minutes from her side of it, and the night person gives an extra 15 minutes. So they feel equal. You don't want to go in the conflict with the deck stacked against you because one person has already decided that you're showing favoritism. I know how nursing offices are. If you only have one chair of a certain size, don't let the person come and sit in the rocking chair. Because when the other person comes in and sees them in a rocking chair, they're going to say, so why is she sitting in the chair? Okay, have chairs that are equal. So everybody is equal. Everybody feels like they're starting out. You laugh, you have no idea how crazy people are. When they want to fight, everything's an issue, okay? And remember, your goal is to contain it, not to come out of the fight and say, what happened to you? You had to run so the two people didn't kill you in the room, right? It's your job to contain the damage. The other thing you need to do, if somebody likes tea and somebody likes coffee, please have tea and coffee or don't have any. You get what I'm meaning? And when you're dealing with a conflict, please don't meet the two people and stand up and stand up. Where's my psychologist? They got to sit down. What happened? How people fight? There are very few people fight sitting down. One people get to fight, they start getting up. If you have two people, that's what happened. They need to sit down. Plus the whole idea of the brain thinking, that's chair, I have to sit down, it holds the brain has to go into another part for at least a second to make those configurations to make you sit, and it's taking a person away from the conflict for one moment. So if you can just break space for one moment, you might be going in on equal footing. You might have a fighting chance. And so it is your job to set it up. You should have zero tolerance for criticizing in your organization. If you have not discussed it with Lorna, don't come talk to me about it. Does Lorna know about this? Does Lorna know about this? If Lorna doesn't know about it, Jill, come talk to me about it. All right. Negotiation. Cool, get the people to cool down. Listen to both people. Have them brainstorm. You know, people can come up with amazing, let them work together. It's a problem, put them both on a committee together. They'll either kill each other or they come back with the problem thing. If it fails, you can always get a mediator. My girl won. You can tell she won. So conflicts will end with two ways. Win, lose. That's not a good way. Lose, lose. This is the way you want for it to be, with everybody being happy. Let me tell you something. As life becomes complex, so do we. As life becomes more of a media, social media things, so do we. If you want to know some of the problems in your organization, you might want to go to Twitter and Facebook and see they're cussing you on Twitter and Facebook. It's there. You can see how actually, but also you see how, if you want to learn what's happening with people, go to Facebook. You'll find that he or she's a great cook. They love to organize. You see all the pictures. They're talking. So you have a point of reference to begin. So understand this. To be successful in life, review. 1, you need to know where you're going. 2, you need to take massive action. And you need to be flexible. Today's workplace is complex. You need to say to yourself every morning that you get up, I am a winner. I am going to be winning. I am powerful beyond measure. You all know Marianne Williamson. Actually, it's not, yeah, Marianne Williamson. You're wondering, Nelson Mandela. Some people say it's Nelson Mandela, but it's not Nelson. Nelson quoted Marianne Williamson, and because it was a quote, he didn't write it, he didn't plagiarize her. He repeated what she said. But you're powerful beyond measure. Don't let anybody make you think small. Learn to enroll people in your vision. Learn, you know, I work with the women of the Congo now. I didn't even know where the Congo was. 15 years ago, I never imagined that I will be in the Congo, walking among rebels with rocket launchers on their back, where everywhere I eat, I sleep, it's fortified, armed guards with machine guns. Because I'm speaking to the women in the Congo. Understand this, 2 million women have been raped in the Congo. And the rape continues. And infant and maternal mortality is really very, very high in the Congo. And that is what my passion, that's what drives me now. I am able to go to the Congo and to work with the women. So I say, get this work-life balance together, because you never, never know where you may end up, where it might take you. Because once you're on a trajectory, you could end anywhere. In the words of the great Jamaican philosopher Bob Marley, one love. Thank you. Okay, thank you.